For the one who stopped praying, you still remember the last time prayer felt real. Maybe it was years ago. Maybe it was a specific moment, a specific room, a specific night, when you actually believed something was listening, when the words felt like they were going somewhere rather than dissolving into the ceiling. And then, slowly or all at once, that stopped. You kept going through the motions for a while. You said the words. You showed up. You did the things you were supposed to do, but something underneath had quietly shifted. And one day you realized you weren't really talking to anyone. You were performing a habit that no longer had a person behind it. So you stopped. Maybe months ago, maybe years. And the strange thing, the thing you didn't expect, is that you're still here. Still listening to something like this, still carrying a quiet ache that feels like it belongs to the conversation you stopped having. That ache is worth paying attention to. What silence toward God actually means. Here is what stopping prayer rarely means. It rarely means you stopped believing entirely. Most people who stop praying don't stop because they became certain God doesn't exist. They stop because something happened. A prayer that went unanswered in a way that felt like abandonment. A season that contradicted everything they thought they knew about how God works. A version of faith that collapsed under the weight of real life. And the silence felt more honest than continuing to speak into what felt like nothing. That kind of silence is not the opposite of faith. It is often faith at its most raw, stripped of performance. Stripped of the version that was built for other people's benefit, reduced to something so honest it doesn't have words anymore. God has never been afraid of that silence. He has never required you to maintain a certain output of prayer in order to remain in His care. His hold on you was never conditioned on your ability to keep the conversation going. He has been in the silence with you the whole time. The prayer that has no words. Romans 8 says the Spirit intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. That verse was written for exactly this moment, for the person whose prayer life has collapsed into something wordless, for the one who doesn't know what to say and so says nothing, for the one who sits in the quiet and feels nothing and calls it failure. It is not failure. It is the Spirit doing what you cannot, holding the thread of connection that you feel certain has snapped, speaking on your behalf in a language you don't have access to, maintaining a relationship that does not depend on your contribution to survive. You have not prayed yourself out of God's reach. The reach was never yours to control. Why you're still here, you didn't have to listen to this today. There are 10,000 other things competing for your attention, and you chose, for some reason, to be here, in this quiet, in this reflection, listening to something that belongs to a part of you that you thought you had left behind. Reformed theology calls this the preserving grace of God, the quiet, persistent work of a sovereign Father who keeps drawing His children back, not through compulsion, but through a pull they cannot fully explain and cannot fully resist. You felt that pull today. That is not nothing. That is not coincidence. That is a God who has not forgotten where you are, who has never stopped being interested in you, who is not angry about the silence, who simply, quietly, kept leaving the light on. You don't have to have the words yet. You don't have to feel anything. You don't have to explain where you've been or how long you've been gone. You just have to stay here for one more minute, and then another. He can work with that. He has always been able to work with that. The conversation isn't over. It never was. Come back. There is no script for coming back. There is no correct way to re-enter a relationship with God after a long silence. There is no prayer you need to pray first. No level of readiness you need to reach. No explanation you owe. You can come back exactly as you are. Uncertain. Unimpressed with yourself. Unsure whether any of this is real. Still carrying every question that drove you away in the first place. Bring all of it. Every doubt, every disappointment, every version of God that failed you, and every version of yourself that you're ashamed of. He has seen all of it. He has been waiting, not impatiently, not with arms crossed, but with the same unhurried, unshakable steadiness that has always been his character. Come back. One word is enough to start. He will take it from there. With grace. Whisper of grace.